So I wanted to do a video on this because I thought this was actually pretty interesting and a good quick tip for anybody that has a old Dell laptop. So this is the Dell Inspiron N5010, 5150, whatever one it is, but it's an old Dell Inspiron N series laptop, 5000 series, and I believe this applies to the 6000 series and possibly newer laptops. So this laptop, when I got it, it kept on rebooting, turning off, crashing, couldn't install Windows, and I kind of ruled out that it was a bad motherboard. Tested the memory, tested the hard drive, tested the power voltage over here, tested this over here, and I was like, okay, it's got to be a bad motherboard. And I thought I was right because that was the only variable that I had, and I've never thought about this in dealing with laptops. So I changed the motherboard, and same thing, over and over, boot cycle just kept not working right, and I was like, man, I'm out $15. This laptop, I don't know what's wrong with it. So yeah, didn't want to work. So on this laptop, I was looking at it and I decided, you know what, let me take out this battery. I took out the battery, and when I took out the battery, the computer booted up, installed Windows, and I had no issues. Runs fine, runs great. And this is actually a pretty good laptop for those people who are trying to do that online home learning thing or whatever they call it nowadays. So I was very happy with that. So this is what I figured out. So let me go ahead and shut this thing down. Go ahead, shut it down. So when I had the laptop in, and I've already done this, but I just wanted to document it, one thing I noticed is the battery indicator over here, which it won't do it now because I've already done the fix, it kept on blinking 3 times orange. It blinked 3 times. The computer laptop would shut off, it would blink 3 times orange. Blink, 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 whatever. Unplug the battery, laptop runs fine. Well, what that orange indicator means when it's blinking 3 times like that, looking at the forms, it means that there's a bad cell in the battery. Well, these are the little battery whatever, and these were bad. Okay, so how can you fix it? Well, you could try to resolder it, hope you don't blow yourself up or set yourself on fire, and it depends on your level and skill of electronics and soldering, and I can tell you right now, I suck at this, so I wasn't going to do that. I'm trying to flip this laptop and hopefully make maybe $80 to $100 on it because it has a solid state hard drive, 6 gigs of RAM, and runs flawlessly, no issues. But I can't sell it with a bad battery. And then the other option was, and let's flip this thing around, is that, see if I can get this thing open. There we go. All right. Is that I'm not going to sell it like this because this is going to look tacky and unappealing. Sellers are going to ask questions, and then they're going to try to lowball you just because of that feature. What can you do for it? So let's slide this laptop over here. Let's slide my stand. So what you do is you take out the battery, just like this. Take yourself a flathead screwdriver. This doesn't have to be pretty, but just kind of be mindful of it. Let's see if I get this on the angle properly. It doesn't have to be pretty, but just be mindful that if you break this plastic too much, then you can't really use it. What you pretty much need is the housing. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pry and pry and pry. So I started prying over here, and as you can see, it don't look the prettiest, but it works. And what I was able to do is, if you look, I was able to take out the little board connector over here that goes into it. So I took out the board, and I took out 2 of these batteries. I left the other ones in, and I just went ahead and unsnipped them together because these batteries are really not going to do anything or cause any issues. And then you just snap it back in, if I can get it right going. Now I can't snap it in. Great. All right, let's get this thing. There we go. Snap one in. And it kind of tucks in itself, so just keep that in mind. And these do come apart. You know, they got a little bit of glue, I think, or some type of adhesive, or maybe they are heat welded on there. There we go. So there you go. It's put in together, and I'll fix it later and everything. And then by doing that, I went ahead, slid this in. Of course, now this thing is not going to fit. There we go. Lock it in place, which it locks, and there you go. You have your laptop with the cover, so when the customer looks at it, and please disclose this with them. Don't try to get over on nobody. Disclose it with them that the battery doesn't work, because they could get on Amazon and buy these batteries for $20, and it'll work just fine. Open it up. Make sure you put your power connector in there, and as you can see, it boots right up with no issues. And without this little annoying board and these dead cell batteries over here, the laptop's going to run fine. Now, I have had this issue before with another laptop I had. It was another Dell Inspiron, and it kept on doing the same thing, and I kind of ruled it out as a bad motherboard, but I knew the battery was bad because it was exploded, and I changed the motherboard. Couldn't put the battery back in there because it kind of exploded and swelled up. So I misdiagnosed it the first time and I misdiagnosed it the second time, but I learned something new. If you have a battery with a bad cell, the laptops will actually keep recycling, rebooting, they won't install, you'll get all types of errors, and you're gonna get that little orange blinking light down here telling you that you have a dead cell in your battery. So if you wanna fix this and flip it and still have the aesthetic of the laptop, in which your customer will like it better because nobody likes anything exposed, just go ahead, pop out the cells. You don't have to pop all of them out. I at least just pop out the first row along with that connector and you're good to go. So I just wanted to share that information for anybody out there with these laptops that are trying to flip them, repurpose them, or just can't figure out. If you have a laptop that keeps rebooting and resetting like that, and if you see that, don't throw away the laptop, just take out your battery, still use the laptop, get a new battery, and you're good to go. So hope this information helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see what we come up with next.